Kicking off part 2 of week 8's vlog with these deadlift sets here. This is a Wednesday lift at the Firehouse, 440, 200 kilos for 7 singles restricted by the velocity. So I was going to do 8, but 8 to 10, but really cut it at 7 because they were starting to grind too much. And it was only on the 90-second rest, which is kind of cool. So hadn't done these in a very long time, but threw Dimwell deads back in, and I sped up these reverse lunges. So first time I've used a barbell, I've worked up to weights or dumbbells in my hands. We hit some standing ab wheel, and that was it for this day. Pretty solid little lift at the Firehouse. And then we get into a day off on Thursday and then a start Friday, and I kind of did a commentary before that, a very up and down Friday. So here in a second, we'll get into Friday's vid. Lots of throws. Well, lots of car traffic. Out here getting ready to throw hammer, enjoying the beautiful day. It's Friday, September 8th. That sun is still searing my skin. Of course, I'm like ginger kid, right? Gonna throw like 4 events today, maybe. We'll kind of see how the body feels. It was a long 72 hours of work the past 3 days. Didn't get in as much like personal like lifting and throwing or training or drills as I would have liked. And so this is session number 2 of the day. I am out here at the gym. It's 3 o'clock or after 3:30. And we did this morning, I did plyos and some quick arms, just to kind of like get some blood flowing. Did an ice bath. And so, yeah, hammer first, probably wob, and then the weights. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow's opening day of hunt season, but they're calling for a bunch of thunderstorms, so could be a day in the gym. So we'll figure it out. Let's see how it goes today. And it was one of the most frustrating throwing days I've had in a while. So 5-1 to start. You can see stepping forward is frustrating. And I'll let this one play. Oh, damn, that's going to suck. Sometimes I laugh at myself. You got to laugh at yourself. So I moved my feet a little bit. But very frustrating hammer day. I had a lot just watching the film. I was like, there's a lot of hiccups and stuff. Like this one actually was probably the best throw of the day or second best throw of the day. A couple of them went well. But I did a lot of slow-mos. I took some slow-mo video, trying to look at a couple things, looking at low points, looking at, what is my body doing? Because this left leg, if you followed along, has been giving me fits. I still think I'm not getting over onto my left as much as I want. Like right here in the finish, I want to be more into my left leg, and I'm kind of falling away into my right. It's not the end of the world, in my opinion, but it's like I'm only using one side of my body to throw. So that's not the best thing. But very frustrating day. We're kind of all over the place, sweaty, had a couple slip out. And I didn't do a great job. These camera angles aren't from directly head on, which is where I like to watch my footage the best. If you notice, and one thing I've got to continue to work on is my mobility, my T-spine mobility, and my lat mobility. Being able to reach my arms over my head further is going to allow these throws to go further. This was actually, believe it or not, one of the better throws. It kind of hung on to it a little bit, but it kind of allows me to finish up through the throw versus some of these others you'll see come out very early and go off to technically my left, so to the right of the screen kind of. So you'll notice that it's finishing early, that's not catching back up to the hammer to load my hips, and they're coming out early, and I think that's where I'm pulling. So you can kind of see like that one goes more off to the right side of the screen. So I like my start, my orbit. I like to get the ball high. It's what I want to see, and it's doing that okay. But even this right here, my arms are a little short compared to what I want them to be, so I've got to kind of relax a little bit more. Like I said, I was having a little bit of tacky issues, which does tend, in that one I was really leaning back. I could see that. Tacky issues tend to have you grip and pull a little bit. So I think I didn't take slow-mos in all of these, but I ended up only throwing hammer, wob, and heavyweight. I skipped on the lightweight. My hand was a little beat up by then because I got frustrated and threw a ton of wob compared to what I normally do. Believe it or not, it started off great and then went south. Well, don't know what happened. I've been off all year on wob. Come take my first warm-up, literally first warm-up pool at 13 feet. Literally didn't expect to throw it over. It's a warm-up. Clear the bar, don't even touch it.
and hammer did not go great. Obviously, you'll heard that in the recap, or heard that. So let's video some WOB.
So here's literally throw number 2 on the day at 13 feet, clear without touching. Here's 13 again, third throw in a row, clear without touching. And that was it for the day. Yes, somehow, some way, don't feel like I changed a lot. Watch these footage. Some of them just absolute misses. Changed a couple things, felt it on the throws that I did miss. A couple of them, let's be real, I was more frustrated because I wanted to clear the bar without touching it. Setting a higher standard for myself and being frustrated with it. Like that one I knew right away as soon as I pulled it. Crap. Just wanted to get over the hump of clearing it. And it's like hit the bar like 3-4 times, 5 times, I don't know. I didn't keep count. But we threw WOB and then heavyweight. And I even put the bar at 15 at the end of the WOB and just trying to trick myself into throwing it high, and had one of the 2 or 3 pulls I took at it go better. So maybe it's just got to trick myself and just keep throwing at something that's untouchable at the moment. Even though I cleared it probably over half my games last year. I think it's just the timing with the power of using both my legs is still not there. I notice it in sheaf. I've mentioned it in other videos. I notice in sheaf, and I notice in heavyweight and WOB. It's like you got to think. I haven't done caber to know lately, but you got to think like as this quad comes back, like it's my main power, like the big horsepower movements. I just don't have the speed stuff. I can kind of get away with and work around. But yeah, let's move into some heavyweight. Kept the short chain because it was already stuck there and I need to go get a different pair of pliers. And I guess it went all right in the grand scheme. It didn't feel great. And there's things I was working on that just weren't, the cues I tried to focus on just weren't happening this day. It kind of had the theme of the day was the like unhappy, inconsistent day. And, you know, then I ended up doing some lifts after this, and those went all right. But this was just, I was a little, I just got to leave some misses in every once in a while, or some fouls, whatever you want to call it. It's the reality of how practice goes sometimes. I do try to edit out a lot of the F-bombs if I can, because it just would be constant. This was, yeah, I got angry, get angry, and it happens. And it's just trying to make my body do what I know it can. It just won't cooperate yet. So then we threw this. This is Friday. I came off of working 72 hours, and a very long 72 hours. And here's like the one lightweight throw that bust my thumb and my hand. Actually, I was thinking I was going to tear a callus through the glove. Moved on to power cleans, just like I did with the snatches. Dropped back down, like 80% number, 5 doubles. These went through pretty quickly. I don't remember what else I recorded this day, so I'll see it here in just a minute. But I left all 5 sets in there. And I hate with the WOB and how I video, if I vertically video it with my phone, it cuts off like the speeds on there, and it cuts off the height of the video. It makes this a little square box. I try to move as much as I can horizontally, but with the speeds, I have to keep it upright or it records all weird and it blocks it and it doesn't like it. So, but the bar speeds are something I constantly am looking at and kind of gives me an evaluation of where I'm at on the day. And this showed a fatigue day. So it is what it is. I kind of take it with a grain of salt. But this was Friday. Saturday, I ended up staying away from the gym completely on Saturday and just rested my body. I stayed in bed for 12 hours. I was not asleep for 12 hours. I just stayed in bed for 12 hours from like midnight to noon. I had nothing going on otherwise. I didn't have any responsibility that day. I skipped out on hunting because the weather was so, and I just said, just spend some recovery time. This is the day I pissed off my low back a little bit. It led to me sticking in bed a little longer. So obviously throwers use quarter squats a lot. Well, what I did is I looked at the leg, like knee and hip angles from the WOB, and I wanted to do a half squat matching that. And here I was looking from behind to see if I was even. And believe it or not, these pissed off my back. Watching it, you can see there's this little looseness in the top. So I may have to figure out a little bit different way to do these. And they felt fine doing them. It was almost just like I had like a low back pump that never went away. And now it feels fine today. and this is the day. So this is finishing my week is a Sunday. So Saturday we had a baseball game, and so I didn't go to the gym at all. Did nothing. Sunday, got in, first week of behind the neck jerks. Didn't have jerk blocks, unfortunately, so stayed lighter, which was all right to hit these first few sets in. So I worked from 225 to 245, 5 sets of doubles of a behind the neck jerk. So having to re-rack them sucks. And if you see here, my left arm doesn't look like it locks out all the way, but that's locked out, I promise you. And that just has to do with mobility issues. So I've still been constantly working on my shoulders, my T-spine. I've got to get that stuff better. That's, I think, a lagging part. I got to continue to spend more time doing that. This is the last set, and then I finished up with some lat pull downs, and then I went out and did my plyos, and I actually ran some sprints today. So not leaving that stuff out. Ran 10 short sprints after the plyos, felt really good. Quick set of lat pull downs here to finish up the week. This is finishing part 2 of week 8. I'm excited to jump right in tomorrow with squat day again for starting week 9 in this peak block, trying to finish things off awesome. So thank you guys if you actually watch until the end. Give this a thumbs up so I know you're actually watching to the end. See ya.